There's this amazing writer who is currently at the epitome of his career, and recently he gets a visit from God who tells him that he committed 7 sins in his previous life and either he has to fix it or he's going to hell. God gives this author 7 days to find the clues which lie in the 6 books written by this author and that can save him. That's the concept of the book that I'm going to review today, and it's Jim Morgan and 7 Sins by Bharat Madan. Today I'm going to discuss the plot, narration and characters of this book and whether you should read it or not according to me. Before we begin, some disclaimers. The book was sent to me by the author and I do have some very different views about this book. Without further ado, let's get started with this video. If I have to describe this book in one line, I would say that this is a book with poor narration, unappealing characters and a messed up plot. Now, why do I even think like that for this book? I will discuss that in detail in this entire review, and I'll also let you know what are the things that I liked about this book. Beginning with the writing style. The biggest problem in the writing style is that this is a first person work and I just could not get how this first person was able to tell what's happening in the other room or what happened to that person who is sitting in the other room in his past days. So that was pretty unacceptable to me. I would have totally ignored it, but it did break the flow of reading and I was like, how can you know? And I did try my best to, not judge this book until the end, so that because I was hoping there would be some explanation why this kind of narration is there, but there was none. This is the first time I am having this kind of problem. So I would really like your views about it, whether this kind of narration would bother you or is it just fine and just bothering only me. Coming to the plot of this book, you would imagine that this is a mystery fiction sort of book, and by the time you get into this book you would be very, very curious to know what happened in the book. But I read the entire book and I am telling you that what I felt was nothing intriguing. I was not excited to know what was gonna happen next, so I was clearly not enjoying the book. It is very much because of the characters and narration which were bothering me a lot, but even when I tried my best as a reviewer, as a person who's reading this book from a perspective to tell you guys about it, I could not continue the book and get interested in it while ignoring all the bad factors I had already noted down. So that was a pretty bad thing according to me. The only part of this book that I really liked was the plot where you discuss the 7 sins, because I was very new to 7 sins. I am pretty sure a lot of people already know about the 7 sins, but I did not know, and hence I was very much interested to read those a few pages which happen in the book which discuss these sins. Then there are a lot of confusing points in the plot as well. Now I cannot really give you those points because in my blog review, which is live right now, you can check that I have given points why I didn't like the characters, why I didn't like the narration. I have given no example for what are the discrepancies in the plot because of the fact that I literally did not have the courage to go back, flip the back pages just to confirm my doubts, right? But there are discrepancies in the plot which really bothered me again. So yes, that's why I didn't like the plot as well. One example I do have for unrealistic and very convenient things that happen in the plot is there's a fugitive in the book at a point of time and he or she is being chased by everybody in New York and LA. Imagine this fugitive going to his or her house and no police is there. Like, really, in 2 cities there are all the people who are trying to find this fugitive and then nobody bothers to go to his or her home. And also there's the thing that this was not the only too comfortable thing that happened in the plot. By the time you get to the end, you will find that everything gets way too convenient. You'll be like, why all this, why all these pages you made me read when everything was going to get so convenient? Everything was going to happen like this. Even the ending didn't manage to make me happy. Talking about the characters. Now the main character in this book is of course Jim Morgan, this amazing writer, and he really irritates you to the most when he keeps on pointing out how amazing author he is, how popular he is, how much people love him and everything like that. I get it that there are plot requirements where you have to tell that to people, but telling that to people on every second page is way too irritating. In every single line I felt like that there is this compulsion with this narrator that he has to tell how grand this author is, how grand the things he has are, how big the fame is, how big everything is for this person, and that gets irritating. One of the many reasons why I found it irritating is that, I feel like as an author, when you write a book, you have a lot of power, and it's like completely not utilizing that power. You are just putting it out that this person is rich without showing me how rich he is, like without actually making me see it. You're just telling me every time. You're just like, shouting in my ear every single time, every minute, and telling me that, what, he's rich, he's rich. I'm very sure a lot of you might not understand what I'm saying, but I'll tell you with an example. For example, if you have read 50 Shades of Grey series, there's this guy who is very, very rich, that is Christian Grey. And you would not find instances in the book, so many instances in the book, when the narrator is telling you that he's rich. You see the description of his mansion, you know that he is rich. You see the description of his office, you see the people reacting around him, you see everything, and then you assume, and then you find out how rich this billionaire is. Whereas in this book, you have to listen to the narrator every single time to know that he's a rich person. Jim Morgan is a rich person. So it gets very, very irritating. There is also this character, which I would say is a character in the book, which is God, who keeps on popping up, and he seriously does not have any like spine, I would say. Sorry guys if you're religious, I'm not referring to the actual God, but in this book the God has no spine, because why is he even there? You just cannot notice, because he just keeps changing what he wants from this guy, like confused character. So before doing this review and after doing my blog review, I did check some of the reviews of other people, and they were like, there are 2 more characters in the book. But according to me, there were only these 2 characters. The book's concept was great. It could have been the bestseller of the year, according to me at least. But it is not, because of the weak, confusing characters, plot and narration, and I totally disliked the book because of that reason. My total ratings of this book is 2 out of 5 stars. If I had to suggest somebody, if you're very much interested in the concept, do read this book. But otherwise, there are so many problems in this book that I totally feel that you would not enjoy this book. That's it guys, this is my review for Jim Morgan's and 7 Sins by Bharat Madan. I hope you guys liked the review, and I really want you guys to put down in the comments about your views regarding the points I put forward, and whether these points actually make a difference in your reading experience or not, because I can be totally wrong, right? Thank you so much for watching this video. This is Manpi signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.